Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's September 27th, 2018. I'm out in Pond 5 right now. This video I'm going to try and do a bit of a more thorough introduction to what we're doing with pond patching. I've done an Ask Me Anything video in the past about pond patching, and I thought I'd just go over this as a basic pond patching video using organic material instead of using clay or the different various products, you know, the synthetic products that are used to patch ponds. So the first thing is our property is basically all sand and really bony gravel. So it is very porous and water runs right through our soil here very, very well. There isn't much topsoil on our property. A lot of it's because it was over-farmed about 100 years ago and depleted the resources, and now it's basically all non-marketable gravel. Now we do have gravel beds right next door. We have one next door and the following door down as well, and they're harvesting gravel all the time. There's 10-wheelers and now 18-wheelers hauling gravel. So it gives you an idea of what our property material, the mother material, is actually like. And we have 7 ponds on site, one of which goes dry completely every year. That's a smaller pond, Pond 6. And right now I'm in Pond 5, and this is a larger pond with an island in the center. So I'm just panning around right now, and there's the island right there. This pond used to go completely dry early in the season, and it probably leaks in multiple locations all around here. And behind me here is the stone wall, and this is one of the longest dams on the whole property, over 100 foot long. And so that's definitely was very porous. And we initially, when we dug other ponds and did other excavation on the site, we brought this dam wall much thicker. We brought it in closer to where I'm standing now by putting more and more material in there in the hopes of patching the pond. And it did work to a certain extent. The pond would go dry later on in the summertime as opposed to in the springtime. So then I started hauling cardboard and paper products in, and I lined it up all along this bank, and there's some Google Earth shots that show, you could see all the paper products and all. And I think that worked extremely well, because the only problem is that as the water came in, the cardboard and paper products would start to float behind me, and they'd work their way down and settle down to the base of the pond, which did really glee the pond, G-L-E-Y. And it's sealed with organic material, the lower layer. So now the lowest part of the pond, the part where I'm standing now, down to, probably a couple of feet above the water line right now, is all pretty much sealed pretty well with all this organic material. And it's the same thing over there on the other side of the island as well, but it's not as deep over there as it is here. So all this more organic material slid down the hills, the banks of the dam walls, and became thicker down here at the base. And I've done that for a couple years, and since we've been having some pretty significant droughts lately, and water sovereignty and our own resilience here on site has really made me put other things on hold and really focus on patching this pond, since it's such a wonderful resource. Not only patching this, but bringing that other water source in whenever we have runoff, because this would really be the 5th pond in a series of ponds where the runoff from other ponds would ultimately come into here. But as the season progresses, and having less rainfall each year, so typically we have 43 to 44 inches annual rainfall. This year we're just over 23 inches of almost 24 inches of rain in the last 12 months. So we're still, 20 inches. We're at a half of what we should be getting as a climate record, looking over 100 years of rain data for this area. So without going any further, what I decided this year was to really gear up. Instead of composting all of our weeds, all of our vegetable matter that 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 was left over after the plant had gone through its productive phase, and it would typically get pulled out and put into a compost pile, or during the processing when we're taking all the corn and breaking it down, instead of flail mowing the whole plant and put it back into the soil, I decided to take all of that, bring it down here, put it on top of cardboard, and see if I can add much more organic material, really step up the game to see if I can get these walls sealed up a bit more. Now, we don't get nearly as much cardboard because we used to get it from two businesses, my wife's veterinary hospital and a food, a decorative food service, I'll just say. And I used to get all their cardboard every week or every 2 weeks, and I'd get a nice, pretty good truckload of it. Now we don't get nearly as much. We do have a friend that brings us their wildlife rehabilitators, and so I just got this cardboard the other day. Since we got the rain, I left it outside out here so it would get a little bit wet, start the whole process for us and make it a little bit heavier, so in case the winds kick up a little bit, less chance of it getting dislodged and ending up down into the water in the pond. So I'm going to be doing some more work in the gardens every day and pulling out more and more plant material and starting to put that on top of all of this material. So there's going to be some GoPro footage of me showing up bit by bit with the camera set in different places and just showing me coming down with a wheelbarrow, or sometimes going over with a tractor bucket, throwing materials over the side. And with some of the material a little bit higher here, I bring the excavator around later on and pack it down with the bucket as well. So those are things that'll be shown in here. And it'll probably take a while before I finish this video. I really have no idea because I've got to go through more of the garden process. I guess Timmy's coming to visit me now. Oh God. So Timmy and I are going to get to work in the gardens, but I wanted to share with you laying down this cardboard layer all the way around in here and going right up on top of the previous cardboard and vegetable matter and making sort of a lasagna-like, people talk about lasagna gardening or lasagna sheet mulching. Well, this is lasagna pond sealing. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you a little bit of footage, GoPro footage, and I don't know if I'll be back or not. So if you found this video of value, please give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, hit that bell icon if you want to be notified when we post more videos, and certainly folks, have a super fantastic day. Bye-bye now. Oh, Timmy.